Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Okay, but today we're talking about the tea, right? So all since, last evening into this morning, what have we been talking about? All I see is headlines is Trump tax return shows that he lost more than $1 billion. I got my notes up over here on my screen with these different articles. And so I really wanted to talk about that because the next thing, of course, is he didn't pay taxes. Oh, he's a crook and all this other stuff. All right. So let me preface this by saying, when I have these talks, we're talking about tax law. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about people. We're just dealing strictly in tax law. So don't come over here talking about Lysandra said, Lysandra supports this, Lysandra don't support that. I don't want to hear none of that foolishness and mayhem, okay? Just as a precursor. So yeah, back to the story. So the headlines are reading that, we got access to some IRS transcripts and Donald Trump posted, lost almost $1 billion over a decade. Okay. Number one, this is not news. Okay. First and foremost, it is not news. And it's not news because this came out during the 2016 election. And there was one of them ex-wives that actually released one of the tax returns that showed where he posted almost $1 billion loss. Now, with his company posting a loss that big, then he could carry that loss forward for up to 20 years. And so this is why he did not have to pay taxes, because he legally did not owe. Are these tax laws available to everyone? Yes. If you have a business, the same tax laws that apply to Donald Trump apply to you. Now, where I see people getting angry, right, especially in my home business squad, this is the thing that I need for you all to simmer down a bit. Now, when you have a business and you are living off of your business, you don't have other income to offset losses, okay? When you are strictly living off your business and your business posts a loss, then that's what it is. If your business posts a loss, then guess what? You don't pay taxes either. And you carry that loss forward. And with the current tax law, you can offset up to 80% of future income every year for up to 20 years. And that's it. Now, previously with the net operating loss, you could carry back or carry forward. So there were instances where businesses lost money and they could go back 2 years and amend and actually produce a refund and then carry the remainder of the loss forward. Okay. But now with the tax law change, there's no carry back. There's only carry forward. Okay. So that is tax law. Now, where people are really getting upset is like, how does he lose all of this money? So Donald Trump was in real estate. Now, here's one thing about real estate. A real estate investment can be cash profitable, but show a tax loss. Okay. So just to give you an idea, you can have a rental property and you could be profitable, right? You're making money on that property, but you might have something like depreciation that takes away that profit. It's tax law. So did he actually lose $1 million, $1 billion? You know what? The IRS transcripts don't give all the tea, right? The tea comes in the actual return, when you got the forms and you got the schedules and worksheets, that's what's going to tell all the tea, not just these headlines and not just an IRS transcript. It's not going to tell you everything, because you don't get all the worksheets to see who's involved with what and where the money is coming from and where the money is being lost. Now, is he doing something funky on the other side? And, I've seen, for instance, where there's this article that talks about how he might have done some kind of shell company and did something funky with his dad and siblings back in the day. Could that have happened? Absolutely. But unless you get some tax returns and stuff to be able to prove that and be able to, get some forensic accounting going on, you're never really going to know. Now, the other thing is that, people are like, oh my gosh, he cheated these people out of their money, all of these businesses out of their money. Okay. Yeah. He filed bankruptcy and there are bankruptcy laws. So before you get all upset, oh, he didn't pay these people. I want you to think about the people that you don't pay. How many times have you seen people that run up these credit card bills and can't pay them? Oh, we're going to file bankruptcy, or, oh, we just don't pay the bill, right? These are the same laws. So the thing I want you to take away from this is don't get all caught up in headlines and stuff. You really got to think about what is happening, and you got to think about what are the laws. Because posting that much of a loss and not paying taxes, well, that's not tax evasion. That's tax avoidance. And this is why you need a team. This is why you need tax planning, because with proper planning, he stretched that loss out long enough where he didn't have to pay taxes for 20 years. Who among us would not have done so? Right? So, when it comes to tax law, it's not a rich people, do this. No. Because the same laws apply to you. This is the same type of reaction that people had when the news came out about Amazon not paying taxes on $11 billion in profit. It's tax law. And what kills me is that the people that are angry, you hear, all these other congressmen, speaking out and all that. There are people that have been in Congress long enough to change those laws. So they really weren't that bothered by it. You look at when 9/11 happened, when the airlines, how many airlines went under after 9/11? Those companies took advantage of the same thing. All of those major airlines that went under didn't pay taxes for about 20 years. So it's tax law. It's not that now, can I say that he did something sneaky and underhanded in his real estate developments and investments and stuff? I can't say that I wasn't there. I'm not looking at all of that. But I'm telling you, based on this headline, this is not something to get all twisted about. It really isn't. And I know that's going to tick off a whole bunch of people. But I'm here to give you facts, and that's the facts. So, unless you get the entire tax return and with the forms and schedules, and so you can see depreciation, what kind of investments and stuff that were made, what kind of tax credits, all of that stuff. Unless you can see all that stuff, this is nothing but some stuff to get you angry. And it's not like we need that, period. As a nation, as people, like, we really don't need a reason to get upset. I mean, you stub your toe, you get upset, right? But this is not something that you can control. But these laws apply to you as well. So if you want to go ahead and lose $1 billion in one way, shape, or form, so you don't have to pay taxes, knock yourself out. I'm not jumping on that train. I'm not trying to do that. And the same thing applied to Amazon. They lost money for decades. And so all those losses got carried forward and carried forward and carried forward because Jeff Bezos was focused on expansion. He was investing in expansion. So he showed a loss. But now while he was losing money, there were people still working at Amazon, right? There were still people getting paid. Nobody's upset about that, right? So this is what I'm saying is that, the headlines are there to evoke a response because people want you to read what they have written, but you got to know the story behind the story. Like it says here that Trump's response is that it's a hit job. I don't think it's a hit job, right? It's not a hit job. They're just stating the facts that, yeah, this is what your tax return shows. This is what your IRS transcript shows. But the IRS transcript does not tell the entire story. And just know whatever tax laws applies to Donald Trump's corporation applies to your corporation if you have one. Okay, that's the truth. And the other thing that you need to realize is that tax law was not written for the working people. It never has. It's never been for the working people because that's just the way it is. Like and this is why you hear so many people talk about get in business, because you get to take advantage of tax laws when you're in business, but you can't be a broke business and take advantage of tax laws. You have to have money. You have to have money in order to take advantage of tax laws. So you can't be a broke business and take advantage of tax laws. You cannot, think that, as an employee that you're going to get all these benefits from the tax law, because the tax law wasn't written for employees. It was really written to benefit business owners. Now, was it explicitly written to benefit business owners? I don't know, but I can tell you one thing: business owners do better with taxes than working people, than employees. I can tell you that. So, this is why I'm saying, don't get wrapped up in the headline. Do I believe that, he should release his tax returns? Yes, but is there a law that says he has to? Unless there is a law that says he has to release his tax returns, he ain't gonna do it. And so if you don't like the fact that there is no law that says he has to release his tax returns, then tell Congress who writes the laws to change the law. Just because it's tradition doesn't mean that it's a law. That's kind of like, traditionally we do this, traditionally we do that. Just because Big Mama did it don't mean that that's the way I got to do it, right? So this is what I'm saying, that, we have to be careful about the headline stuff, and from both sides, right? Headlines from everywhere. I caution you about this all the time, and especially about taxes, because taxes is really personal. And especially after this year, when so many people got surprises at tax time, there were people that lost a lot of tax deductions. There were people that, had tax bills for the first time. There are some people that it worked out great. But because this is a sensitive subject, and because we also perpetuate the idea that wealthy people have done something crooked and illegal to become wealthy, we have to stop that stuff. We really have to stop that. Instead of being angry at people for doing what they're supposed to do, how about you start doing something that you're supposed to do? I know somebody about to get upset. But here's the deal. If you have a family, then it is your responsibility to leave something for the next generation, to build on. And if the next generation does its job, then they're going to continue to build your family wealth. So don't be angry at wealthy people for doing what they're supposed to do with their money. I'm not mad. I'm over here trying to take notes. Right? So this is why, I'm saying, just be careful with that, and just ask what's the story behind the story. I don't believe it's a witch hunt. I don't believe that. But I do believe that we don't know the whole story, because the transcripts only tell you a part of the story. And unless you get the entire tax return, you really aren't going to know the whole story. And unless there's a law that says he's got to give up those tax returns, he's going to take them tax returns to the grave. Because that's what's going to tell the whole truth. Okay, that's what's really going to put it all out there. All right. So I hope that gives you something to chew on when it comes down to tax law. And listen, Tax law is not a reason to go into business. Okay, let me also say that before I close out, because a lot of times people go into business, oh, this is going to produce a bigger refund and all this other stuff. Business owners pay taxes. Okay, that's the bottom line. Business owners pay taxes. This is why estimated taxes exist. Business owners pay taxes. We pay taxes on our profit. So we get to pay for our expenses first, and then we pay taxes on our profit. Where a W-2 employee, your taxes get taken out of your check first, and you get to live on the rest. That's the difference. So that's it, you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. I hope you got, like I said, some food for thought and something to chew on. We air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.